Now, one of the highlights of Dancing on Ice each year is getting to see Olympic champions Torvill and Jayne show off their skills in a spectacular performance.
Well, this Sunday, we'll see them take to the ice for a dance called Me and My Shadow, which features two very talented child skaters as well. Jayne and Chris join us now to tell us more. Hiya, guys.
Hello.
Morning.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. So, skating together, and we'll come to... You skated... we had a skate on the show the other day, which was the puffing of the colours, which is so beautiful, which we'll have a look at in a second. But this is not as easy as it used to be now. You've had to pre-record this one, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. We just before Christmas, we had to do all the pre-work to get it done, just for COVID and all the protocols. So that because now the show's up and running, it's live. Jayne and I have to separate. We can't, we have to do the 2 meters, staying apart, not touching, because if one of us were to get the COVID, it would knock the other one out as well. So it's a precaution, really, just to keep the show going.
Absolutely. And Jayne, I think, we all look forward to you two getting back on the ice and skating. So I imagine the prep for this takes a long time, choosing the right song, choreographing the routine. How does it work?
Well, actually this year we had a bit longer together because Chris came over in September and because he came early to quarantine, etc. And then we started training. And then because of the difficulties of Chris going back and forth, he actually stayed. He didn't go home in between. So we've got several more weeks of training. So it was great for us. And, it made us feel that we were well prepared to pre-record the routine before Christmas. And it was such a joy working with Atul and Ashley, the young ones, having them to come and be part of it was just great. It was a great time. And
do you guys, Chris, you work with the other pros to choreograph some of the skates that we're doing?
We used to, Phillip, but then as we came back as judges, it's a little bit of a conflict of interest. But what we're starting to do, those that find themselves in the skate-off on the next days, we're then starting to help them a little bit of, personally what we're looking for as judges, to give them some ideas of what to work on for the next week.
A bit of guidance. Jayne, do you skate all year round, or sort of after Dancing on Ice is finished over the summer, do you kind of stop for a bit?
Yeah, I do stop for a bit because where I live is not that close to an ice rink. But in preparation for getting ready for this year, I did, as soon as the ice rinks were open again, I was so excited about going back onto the ice. So I did take myself off for a few weeks before Chris came over, just to get back on the ice again and get my feet in.
And what about you, Chris? I mean, you are skating quite a lot in the
I winter. Do. I skate all year round. Yeah, I work with a lot of choreographing a lot of students that come from around the world, actually. So I do keep my feet on the ice most of the time, to be honest. Yeah.
So, obviously, the series is back with a bang. We've seen Joe, Faye and Colin all topping the leaderboards. Now that we've got you away from the rink side and you can spill a few more beans, Chris, who's sort of really impressing you this year?
Oh, gosh, you know what? They're all our children. We love them all just the same. But having said that, Faye looks beautiful. Her posture and her line's fantastic. You've got Joe that's, that young talent as well, that is enthusiastic and just a natural on the ice. But then you bring Sonny J into the mix, and I have to say, he's just pushing himself each week, and he's sort of this cheeky chappy, but he's doing really well. And then Colin came to the forefront last week as well. So, it's still that way of, it's anybody's game. I mean, we saw it last year, didn't we, that Perry looked like he was going to romp away with it, but then it is about the skating, but it's also about the person, the character, and what you bring to the performances as well.
Mm. And what about you, Jayne?
As Chris has just described, all those people are sort of front runners at the moment. But it's good to have a good group of high standard, because it's part of their journey. To see what will happen next. We've seen a big improvement from day one with Sonny J from where he started. Will that continue? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
You were talking at the beginning about the fact that you have to distance now, and that's why we have to pre-record the skates. And obviously everyone is being, I mean, it is very strict at the rink. That's how we managed to keep that show on. Is the guidelines that, and it really is very rigid. And unfortunately, it means that we've lost Rufus this week. He's had to come out. He's posted a video. This is what he had to say.
I will no longer be participating in Dancing on Ice. Unfortunately, having come into contact with somebody with COVID and then isolating, it transpired I myself had COVID, so I have dealt with that and quarantined and the like. Unfortunately, the rules on Dancing on Ice are completely, cut and dry, very strict, because they need to keep everybody on that production as safe as possible.
Absolutely, it does have to be strict, so we're really sad that that Rufus should go. Yeah. However, and this is the first time, I spoke to our team this morning, this is the first time ever we've used both of our reserves. So we've now got Matt Richardson, who's in, and we look through, David Smith, who's one of our team, had a look through all of our stuff, so thank you to David and Clodagh. Series 3, Michael Underwood injured, so Zara Abraham stepped in and came third. Series 7, Chesney Hawkes withdrew before on an injury and was replaced by Chico, who came third. Gareth Thomas withdrew and wasn't replaced. Monty Panesar injured before transmission, replaced by Lamar. Barrymore injured pre-transmission.
I'm amazed we get anyone to sign up for this show, quite frankly.
Replaced by
We're doing us a disservice here, Phil. Be careful.
So we've now lost, this year, we've lost Denise Van Outen and Rufus Hound.
I always say to the reserves, practice, because you've got like a 60% chance of being part of the show. So, and this year is no different. And obviously, 2 of the reserves are now part of the main cast. So it's exciting for them and it's exciting for us as well.
Well, I mean, Amy, as you know, Tinkler, who came in, our Olympic gymnast, you know about Olympic mentality, and she definitely brought that to the ice, didn't she, Jayne?
Yes, I mean, she was terrific. I did get booed because I gave her one of the lowest marks, but I can see definitely the potential there, just to work on her skating skills a bit more, but she has beautiful lines and presentation, and she has a great partner in Joe.
And Chris, how are you feeling this year? I mean, it's very different at the rink. No audience, but we've got the other skaters who are, I think, compensating amazingly well.
I think they were booing us as well.
Yes, they were. Yeah. It's different, but it is miraculous that that the team have managed to put it on.
I have to say, there's so many moving parts to Dancing on Ice, just with the ice aspect and bringing all these elements together to put on a live show on a week-to-week basis. I've just been amazed by the team and ITV that have been able to pull this together, and they've done the most amazing job. It is different in the studio, but having said that, I think the performances and the atmosphere that's being generated for those performances is fantastic, and people are stepping up to that performance when they are coming out. So maybe they're not seeing several hundred faces, but they're feeling the atmosphere when they're coming in. They're about to skate.
Oh, thank you, guys.
We'll see you Sunday.
Dance week, Jayne. It's dance week.
Yeah.
See you there, guys.
All dances in. Samples, all sorts of stuff. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Sunday at 6 p.m. on ITV, of course.